Roy D.
So I don't know, what was your parents' names? I don't even know.
Chester Herbert Robinson, Goldie Merle Spars Robinson.
Spars Robinson. Now were they both from like here?
Yeah. Well, Dad's part of Dad's people was up around Chillicothe, wasn't
He was born in Ross County.
they? Yeah.
This one here has some of the names and deaths there. But they one has
Annadelle Waldron Bennington. Annadelle Bennington.
Cordell's mom.
Robinsons. Dora Robinson, Chester Robinson. Mark Robinson? Mac. So Mac's the one I didn't ever meet. And he died a year after I was born. Robert Bennington.
Cordell's brother.
Opal.
That's my sister. Oldest sister. She's 65 with a heart attack.
And she's at Locust Grove.
That's where she lived, yeah.
I didn't know she was in Locust Grove. Carl. 47 years.
Yeah.
What happened to Carl?
Heart attack. Massive heart attack. That's what killed Opal, too.
Everett and Ruth.
And my mom.
Heart attacks. All of them.
Lisa K.
Mom was 49,
George
Carl was
King.
47, and Opal was 65.
Did you hear what I said, Judy? I said Lisa Kaplinger and George King and said George Crabtree.
Oh.
You remember that
Yeah.
Simple Simon? That's where the marriages used to be at church. Daryl Gullett and Kathy.
So, because I know your mom died pretty young.
49.
But was your dad still alive?
Oh, yeah.
And how
He
much?
lived to be 78.
Okay.
What was 78 when Dad died? Dad's 78 years old when he died.
That should be in that big Bible. There's right down the line. Do you remember that? Stevie got killed, and then Daddy died, and then Dory died. I mean,
Well, Stevie, that was
Who's
wait a
Stevie?
minute.
Joyce and Connie's brother.
Daddy died in '78. Here it is. Here's the death here.
Oh, 76. She was only 49. Who's Homer Bennington?
That was Dale's dad.
1977. Oh, in one car accident. Phew. So what did your dad do?
He said head saw.
Daddy was
Head
a
sawmill.
He was a sawmill man.
Raised his own sawmill.
Really? Where's
That's why he made a living now.
Where's the sawmill?
Here and there and yonder, wherever he could get somebody to saw for.
I thought they'd give the whole death of the family there. Don't some places have got them.
He sawed for.
Got the military record.
When we lived down by Walmsley, who was Dad sawed for?
I can't think of the old man's name.
Was it a Brown?
Huh?
Was it a Brown?
No. No, he never did. I don't think he ever did. Yeah, he worked for some saphead Brown, Earl Brown.
Why was he so bad?
Huh?
Why was he so bad?
Because he was a tightwad. He had to have his money for his kids, but Daddy's kids could go without until the next weekend. I remember that as a kid.
Goodness gracious.
And what did you think we got for Christmas that time?
What'd you get?
An orange and a banana. And Daddy cried. I remember that.
How old were you? How old would you have been?
I don't. Was you born then or not? I don't. You was born up on Turkey Creek.
Yeah.
And you're 12 years apart.
Hmm?
You're 12 years apart.
Me and you, 12 years apart.
Are we? Well, you was born up on Turkey Creek. I know that.
Yeah.
And Grandpa, my Grandpa didn't like it because they called you Julie. And oh, y'all said so. He ended up getting called Jude, like don't Jude Branham. He didn't like Jude Branham. Someplace in one of the Bibles they should have the.
See, I looked in this big one, and there's nothing, like they don't have in the very front, they don't have all those, you know, the usual, what's this?
I have Dale's family here, but not ours.
Oh, here we go, it's in the middle.
Gary.
Here,
Paul
I'll bring this over to you.
Gary Paul Bennington.
Huh?
Gary Paul Bennington.
That's Gary's.
Grandson or something.
Oh.
Cute.
That's the death here. I mean the birth there. Because William Mack was born after Opal May. Opal May was first.
Open May 1924.
Mm-hmm.
William Mack, May 1st, 1926.
And then I was born
And then Pauline Laura.
12, 25, 27.
This-
I can rattle that off, that's for sure.
and then Everett. So when did you get married?
Oh heavens.
Let me see.
1948, I think it was. August the 10th, 1948. Roy D. I told you can't see with a crack.
Let me take a look.
We got married August the 10th, 1948 at Maysville.
At the courthouse.
No,
Justice of the Peace.
the doctor's house.
Oh.
I was married in 1958. Preacher's house.
Hmm?
I was married in 1958. It's Preacher's house. Preacher Mill's house.
I don't think I have down where you guys got married or anything that way.
May 31st, 1958.
I might have it down to some. I doubt it. Got down when Tony and Sherry got married. They was first one married in the new church, Tony and Sherry. And then Lisa Kay and George Crabtree and Jimmy Simpson and Rhonda Faye King. And Mike King and Susie. Daryl Gull and Kathy. That's one thing got there.
Got married down in White Church, didn't they?
Oh, did they? I didn't remember where. I remember them getting married, but I didn't remember where.
I got down
I
when
was really little when they got married.
when I was born, and when Dory Faye King was born, and Holly Mae Bennington, that's Barry Wayne's daughter. She's a nurse at the hospital now. Joshua Todd King, yuck.
Did Charles marry Carol? Or
Hmm?
didn't Charles marry Darren and Reva?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I used to have the name of the only ones that got married at the
White Oak.
church. Did Reva get married at the church?
Yeah. I think Charles married her.
Somewhere I must have Reva's name down, but I don't remember. This is
So Sharon and Cheryl sung at the wedding.
Yep, I remember that. I remember they did. I haven't heard Mom sing in a long time.
that's when Grandpa and Grandma are there. Noe Mac Spars and Mary M. Dalton.
That was my grandma and grandpa.
Do you even know what Grandma's name was?
Mary Mariah.
Besides Mary?
Mariah.
Mary Mariah.
Mariah.
Mary Mariah.
And they always said Mary Mariah.
Yeah. Mary Mariah. The other grandma was named Mary too, wasn't she?
Huh?
Dad's mom was named Mary too, wasn't she?
Mary Ion Woods.
Yeah.
So if you guys moved around so much, did you go to the same school or did you have to
Oh,
change
no.
schools?
All kinds of schools.
And back then there were a bunch
I
of
went to school in one room school when I started. Had 12 grades in one room on one school.
How-
No, was it 12? Was it 12 grades they had at Antioch?
Hmm?
Was it 12 grades they have at Antioch? From first to the 12th, or after they got so far they went to Peoples?
Well, I'll tell you the fact. This is one thing, funny thing. You laugh now. For 8 years that I went to school at the one-room schoolhouse at Antioch.
Yeah. That's where I started school. In the first grade at Antioch.
And that's where you started school at? I don't remember that. Too long ago, Judy.
Do you remember anything about when you went to school? What it was like?
Yucky.
Yucky. Why? Why was it yucky?
It was a one-room school. Like I said, it was a one-room school, and
One teacher.
one teacher for all the 8th grades. So how would that work today?
How did? Oh, it wouldn't. How'd they fit? I mean, how do they teach? How do they teach someone who's supposed to be in 8th grade and someone who's in 1st grade?
At certain times that you had done what you. I'll tell you a little funny thing. What I used to do, that was sneaky. There was 3 in my class. We had to get up front and spell,
Yeah.
and I found out they was missing a word. So they could go. And we had to stand. One of them we stood up front and done the spelling.
Yeah.
So Pauline, they would just they would study the word that they knew the word that they were supposed to spell.
Yeah.
They would study that word and wouldn't study none of the rest of it. So Pauline played a smart aleck, and I missed one word. I got the pencil. So after that, I was the one who got the pencil. And that's the reason why, because I missed that one word, and they got them mixed up. They didn't know what they were doing. That's the way I kept my brothers and sisters in pencils.
You'd purposefully win the pencil so you could... Oh, gosh. So when did you start writing poetry?
I've got an old book carried over in 1948. The first one I ever did write was when I wrote that about my mother.
Mm.
But I've got a story about a little bird, and got one I read it to Dawn the other day about my feathered friend. She went, don't record me.
I'm not... So what do you remember about your mom? Like, what's your favorite memory that you have about your mom?
About my mom?
Mm-hmm.
She was always, pain do this and pain do that.
That's your favorite memory?
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's the way I remember it. I don't want to tell you what she called me. But see, I had big hands then, and we had to do the washing we had to do the laundry. Do the laundry by hand.
Yeah.
By wash tub.
Yeah.
The sheets. I had big hands, so I was one that
Pull them apart.
hung them out.
And what's your...
My favorite thing about Mom was doing all the work we did together, I reckon. I mean, like cleaning green beans and making pickles and picking berries, and she pulled some funnies on you picking berries, so I pulled a funny on her.
What'd you do?
She got up the hill above me. That was on Beach Fork. Judy, she's little yet. And she got up on the hill above me. She found a real pretty patch of berries. I said, Mom, you find any berries? I'm finding a few. She filled her bucket, Judy, and then come up here, Payne, and help me fill my bucket up. So the next time we went berry picking, she said, Payne, you find any berries? I said, I'm finding a few. and I found a pretty patch and filled my bucket up, and then told her to come. I done Roy Dale the same way. Another thing, one time when me and Mommy was berry picking, I don't know why she always took me. She never took Opal. But she said, "Payne, back down the hill." So there's a big copperhead close, and it's looking right at you. And I looked. I said, "Mom, I see a big copperhead, and it's looking at you, and it's coiled up." She said, "My God, how am I going to get out here?" She's in between them. "How am I going to get out of here?" I said, "Mom, back out the way you come. Just back out down the hill." She couldn't leave him alone. She backed out down the hill, broke a big limb thing over, big enough to I don't know what, and killed both them dumb copperheads.
Just
Had me to take my shoestrings out, and she tied a string around their necks and took them down to the house, Judy, to show Daddy what she killed. Them two great big copperheads.
good Lord. I just run. I see a copper, I'm not bothering it.
Well, that's with me. Like a snake, I was looking at. She was trying to show me where I was at, and I looked, and she was right in between two. She just scared the life out of me.
No, that's right.
But she wasn't scared. She just backed down the. What am I going to do? I said, "Back out down the hill." She backed out down the hill. We was picking berries over on the Turkey Creek side. She backed down that hill, broke that limb off, and killed both them dumb snakes. Them big copperheads.
No. Mm-mm.
And Daddy said that at a certain time in the year, them copperheads are blind. In dog days they call it or something.
Yeah, something like
They're
that.
blind. But she got both of them, whether they're blind or whatever.
That's dangerous. I couldn't do it.
And there was a run went down past our house there in Coon Hollow, that last one we lived in. Everett and Holly. No, it wasn't Everett and Holly, Everett and Albie. There was somebody had cut an old gas tank out and made a water tank out, and them two boys had that out there and was in the middle of the branch where the water was at. They was pretending they was
In a boat.
rowing. Daddy yelled at him to sit still and don't move. He went in the house and got the shotgun. He said, "Now boys, get out of there." There's two big copperheads under that thing. Judy, there's more copperheads in that hole than anything I ever seen.
Now, did you ever know anyone that ever got bit by a copperhead?
Hmm?
Did you ever know anyone actually get bit?
Only one I ever did know to get bit with a copperhead was down on Turkey Run. What was his name? Dode Bowman? You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. So,
Thank God I never got bit by a snake. I was scared to death of them.
Me too. Even black snakes.
Now what do you want to know about your grandma? I don't know nothing about her.
I don't know. What's a good story about Grandma? What do you remember?
How old was you when Mommy died?
About 13.
Huh?
About 13.
That's why I thought you was in your 13, starting in your teens and stuff.
13.
No, see, I was married when Mommy died, and it was Dory and Judy had to take
Take
over.
care of the family. What did you moved in with Aunt Dorothy and them, didn't you? Or something like that.
She went to take care of your mama, didn't you? By and by, she went to take care of your mama young.
Oh, wow. See, I never got to meet Grandma. Cause
So she ended up with your papa young. Give you a papa young, didn't she?
So how old were you when you married Papa?
I think like
19.
about a month being 19. Let me see, I married it last May, and I would have been 19 in July. 31st day of May when we got
You was
married.
that old?
Huh?
You was that old?
I was 18. Would have been 19 in July.
Well, how old were you?
I got married in August, and I would have been 20 in December.
It's not too young.
Huh?
Not too young.
That's the same age. My old man's just 7 months older than me. He was born in May and me in December.
So
The dumb old guy's 60 years. And I still miss him. I do. I'm telling you, sometimes I'm telling you. Well, yesterday was one of my bad days. Oh, good Lord. I just didn't feel good all day yesterday. Pauline, what's the matter with you? Let me fix you some coffee. I said, I don't want no coffee. How about some hot chocolate? And I said, I've not had no hot chocolate for a long time. So she fixed me a cup of hot chocolate, and it tastes pretty good. And when she left, then I lay down and went to sleep. Late yesterday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Judy, I'm telling you the truth, she is though. She's as good as she can be to me.
Mm-hmm.
But when she gets mad at somebody else, she can tell them too. Be a good little worker. You mention anything you want done, she'll do it. Or try one.
How old is she?
She's 41.
Oh, see, I was thinking of some young little girl that came in.
She's a tiny little thing, ain't she, Judy?
Yes.
She's a little thing. She's 41. I think she's 41 years old. Her son
14.
just turned 14. He called yesterday. He said, "Mom, school's out early, and he wanted to know if he could go to his friend's house, walk to his friend's house." She gave him an order. No, we don't know nothing about the man. Your dad don't know nothing about that family, and you get on the bus and come home. Said, I'll be there. I'll be there to open the house, unlock the house for you. So she made him come. 14 years old.
That's good.
He minds them good.
Yeah, you don't see that as much anymore.
And they're all 3 race car drivers.
Race car drivers. Well, all of her sons.
On the weekends,
More than I ever did.
she drives one. The boy drives he has a race truck, and I think his dad's a truck too, but she's got her car.
Do they race over in Brush Creek, or do you know?
Hmm?
Do they race over in Brush Creek, or do they just race?
No,
From Kentucky, someplace.
They go up towards Cincinnati and then out in Indiana, and
They do nice races. Oh, goodness.
I heard them laughing about her laying the rubber, and I looked at her and I said, "You drive a race car?" Yeah. I said, "I don't believe it."
So how did you meet your husband? If she met Papa by taking care of Grandma Young.
I met my old man. He was standing in that door of that church.
Of the White Oak
Standing
Church.
there leaning against the door, I guess. And I can tell you what he had on him. He had on a green ball cap, a blue short sleeve shirt, and a pair of, back then they called them overall pants. They didn't call them jeans. Standing there leaning against the door. I said, "That's it."
How long did you know him before you guys got married?
It wasn't too long, was it, Judy? We got married in August, and the first time I seen him probably was the last part of March.
Whew. So did you guys? So now like people go on dates and they take a while. Did you date, or did you just? I'm going to marry you.
No, we run around together. Set up there top of the hill, and he told me his little, well, Stillville that had the house then. She one got it. That's where he told me. He used to tell me he's going to buy that. And that's where he was going to be when we got married. That's where we were going to live at. So we ended up living here after being 7 years at White Oak.
You said me and Hammer. I met Hammer by working with his grandma, his mom. I said I didn't meet Hammer working with his mom. And we were in state after he went in the army. I stayed and took care of her, helped take care of her. But we met at West Union around the square. And I didn't know two men, you know, around together.
Yeah.
And Delbert, and her and Delbert was kind of thick there at that time. And she wanted, Wilbur was supposed to come to Cedar Mills Sunday School Convention. And when they come to Sunday school convention, it was Hamer instead of Wilbur.
Ouch.
And that's when we got together and talked to him. And he come that night and took me to church. And that's when we started dating.
So how
Oh, your
long?
daddy said you all going to church.
So how long did you guys date before you guys got married?
I don't remember for sure.
What?
He was in the army.
Right, he went to Germany.
Well,
Oh.
he after we got married, he went to Germany.
Mm.
But before
He was in the army after you got married?
gone for almost 2 years.
So you met him. How old was he when you met him?
Well, when we got married, he was 23.
23. And then he was still in the army when you guys got married, and he went to Germany after you got married.
I've got a picture someplace of Hamer's. He must have wrote me a letter or something. It's a picture. It's not an army picture. A little picture of him. It's a good picture. We were sitting in the doctor's office the other day, and this little guy had the skinniest little ankles you ever seen. And I didn't know who it was. She didn't either. And,
Dink.
huh?
Was it Dink?
He said, Dink Young. I said, good Lord. He got just about like your dad would go across there.
His ankles look like they're that bigger.
Skinniest little ankles you ever seen.
I remember when I was a kid, I thought he was Grandpa all the time. Whenever I see him, he had bigger ears than Grandpa. That was the only difference. I remember him. He looked just like.
He was sitting. There's that plant was in between us like this. Well, there's another person sitting here too, and I can hear him talking. But they was talking about old time. It's time of year for the weather started turning getting bad and all that kind of stuff that way. And, but when they said Nick Young, I don't. Oh shoot! It's the first time I'd seen Dink for years though.
And when I talked to Aunt Dorothy, she said that all these roads up through here were all just dirt tracks when she was growing up. Was it just dirt tracks when you guys were growing up, or?
But I went to school at Antioch. I went to church at Antioch.
Dirt road.
And I was probably about 14 when we left over on there. I was at my last year of school. I know that. Last year of my grade school.
None of us didn't go to high school and graduate in McCarrollin.
I know it. Well, I started in high school down there all the way, but I had to quit to help Mom and take care of the kids.
When I quit, when Mom died. I quit when Mom died. 8th grade, like I think 2 weeks. Finished in 8th grade.
Oh wow! Oh. So you were almost done.
So I stayed home to help Dory take care of
the kids.
But I did, Judy, when I had to quit I went about 6 months. Not quite 6 months. I liked it, first year of high school. And I had to quit to help Mom. Mom got sick, and I think that's where right before Johnny was born. So I had to quit to help Mommy out. I've been Mommy's helper till I got married. I think she liked it when I got married.
So what do you remember of your brothers? What do you have any like specific memories you can think of any of your brothers?
Well, my worst brother, I think, was Mac, the oldest one. He was smart like wasn't he, Judy?
Mm-hmm.
He thought he was better than anybody else. The rest of the boys, Pauline was their brother. I used to get so cotton picking mad. His friends, they treated me like I was their brother. I should say treated me like I was their sister.
Yeah.
Because this guy over that way, he was telling dirty jokes to the girls. And tell Pauline, there's no way he's going to tell that. And that's when Opal and Bill got married, I quit going over that way. And Roy, he asked, his name was Roy too, Roy Smith. And he asked Max, said, how's come your sister don't come that way anymore? Or town anymore, they called it. Max said, I don't know, she just don't. And Mac come home and told me the next day, someone was asking about you last night, and I said, who? And he said, Roy Smith. Mom popped up, I'll be kind of careful, people I picked out to be my friends. She didn't even know him, she knew his sister, but she didn't know him. And I said, yeah, like Opal did. Me and Mommy had a little, once in a while we would. She'd call me a smart aleck, or worse yet, she'd call me something else. Judy knows what she called me, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're crazy.
Mm-mm.
You didn't know Mommy's favorite name for me?
Well,
Don't put this down on me. She called me a big overgrown jackass.
why? Just because.
Sometimes it was of course she's proud of me, and other times it's because she's aggravated at me, and other times it's when she wanted me to do something instead of asking me to do it. She'd call me a big overgrown jackass. Get that done. That was her favorite. That was Mom's favorite. I don't know. You never did hear her call me that. That was her favorite thing, calling me. So one time we was down to Carolyn's. This was funny. We're down to Carolyn's in Charles. I used to go there on Sundays, you know, from Sunday school. Oh, about 2 o'clock that evening, Charles said, Penny, would you like to have some ice cream? And I said, just a little bit. Because he always give him, I just want just a little bit.
Charlie's always been like
He brought me the dish, and they were just enough in it to dirty the dish at the bottom. And I looked at him and I said, Charles Kaplinger, you big overgrown jackass. And he'd never heard me say anything like that before, and I'm telling you the truth, he died laughing. He's mentioned that I don't know how many times. He thought that was so funny. He said, and besides that, it was just an expression on your face after you said it. But he did just a little teeny bit of ice cream in the bottom of the bowl.
just to get it dirty. Oh, good Lord.
No, I used to go there every Sunday after Sunday school. Stay with Carol and Charles, and then Kate and Vicky would pick me up that evening and take me to church, and then Ray and Francis would bring me home then. But I went to Carol and Charles every Sunday.
Did you guys have Sunday dinner, or?
Yeah. I always went and ate with him. A lot of times he'd fix, what was it, Judy? Mashed potatoes, sauerkraut, and little smokies, wasn't it? He was a pretty good cook. I went to eat with him. I didn't have to fix the meal. He did.
That's nice.
Did you ever eat Charles the cooking? He was a pretty good cook, Carolyn, or
Yeah.
Judy. Call you Carolyn.
Never did eat.
But did you get to do anything important in her?
Yeah, no, because I didn't know anything about your parents. I didn't know, and like when I talked to Aunt Dorothy, that's why I got so interested, because I was talking to Aunt Dorothy, and she told me about how it used to be here, and it's changed so much, and now you see it just changing more and more and more.
Now
And-
now everything is getting, what is they call it? Where you have to.
It's all online. Everything's digital. Everything's
Well, they're putting a new cable thing down through here.
so everyone, they'll get internet
Yeah.
and stuff. And
Serena said, I'll get it. I said, I won't.
see, what I don't like is that I feel like now people don't talk. Like you'll meet friends, and they'll sit on their cell phones the whole time.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
And-
go to visit somebody and they'll say,
See, I don't like that. I can't.
Mm.
If I have someone, my cell phone goes on the table, and we don't
that
touch
bugs
them.
me to pieces.
So what did you guys do? If you when you were in grade school or when you went to visit friends afterward, what would you do for fun?
Jump a rope. Jump a rope and see who can swing the longest in the swing and the highest in the swing. Sometimes we get fall. The girls played the games the girls played with dolls and stuff like that if they had any. And the boys played shooting the marble.
Now, would they? So, because I know for a long time, were you did you wear dresses or did you wear pants or did they let you?
I never wore a pair of pants till after I got married. I don't think, except going to berry picking. I wore a pair of the boys' overalls when I went to pick berries because I got scratched so much.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine.
That's the only time I ever seen Mom wear overalls either.
Mhm.
Go berry picking. But when I got married, then I started wearing jeans. And somebody said, "Hey, Pauline, where'd you get that pretty gold belt at?" I thought I bought it. That stupid Bob. I had on a tight-fitting sweater, and that's the reason why he was saying that. I just turned around. I never even looked around. I bought it, filled up my bucket of water, and went ahead to the house.
Now, did you guys take care of cows here?
Hmm?
Did you guys take care of cows or what did Dell do?
Yeah.
How many cows do you have? Milk cows? I had a milk cow. I
Couldn't milk with no hands now. But we had 7 milk cows.
7.
Milked them by hand.
Churn butter.
Hmm?
Churn butter, take cream and put it in a jar and roll it back and forth on the floor across one
Made butter.
See, I wanted to do that, but because we got a cow,
Hmm?
and we got a cow at home, a milk cow, big old Jersey cow, and I wanted to milk her, make butter, and yogurt and everything. But now where we moved in Cincinnati, they won't. We're just outside, and they said, well, you can keep a cow here. But we called the county and they won't let us because we're right on the border where you're not allowed to keep farm animals. So I don't know what I want to do with my cow. I don't want to sell her because they're just slaughter. I was like, I don't want to. I like her. You get used to them after a while. She's a big
Scotty
pet.
has beef cows.
Yeah, you don't see so many people with dairy cow anymore.
Portugal has her fair bull out to the barn. She enters she won last year again. Over to Kentucky she won, but up here she didn't. She said they're crooks up here to the fair. That's what she said.
So how much? Do you remember about how much milk that you get? Would you just sell it? I guess.
We used to sell milk, in the
In those big
what was it,
tins.
10 gallon. I got one of the cans. It wasn't our milk can, but it's just like them sitting out on the porch, and it's had a hole in the bottom of it. So Sabrina's dad pulled up out there he's a great big old guy and couldn't get out of the truck. "Hey, I'll give you $5 for that can." I told Dale, I said, I thought I'd let him have it. It's the one I used to keep it painted up pretty, but I don't anymore. You know how I used to paint things and
Yeah.
I used to paint too, but I don't paint anymore.
Did you paint paintings or did you paint?
I painted the house. I painted the birds up there.
You painted those birds?
That picture up there, yeah, I painted it. It's a paint by number set there.
Oh, then they're on the wall.
The birds.
You really see? I didn't know any of this.
You
You
never
don't
did
have
know
all
anybody
kinds of
painted
talent.
with
Yeah,
paint,
you're artistic. You're
my
an
paint by
artist.
number set.
No.
I've got a deer on the doorway over there, and in the living room there's a picture. I painted one, and Everett painted the other one, and I've got them hanging in my living room. I wouldn't take nothing for them.
That's nice. See, that's one thing I can't do. I try to paint. It looks like I mushed something on it.
I told Bobby and them, it was Bob's kids was getting me the paint by number set for Christmas and stuff. I said, don't get that Pauline no more paint by number sets. I said, I'm getting so I can't see the drum very good.
We used to. I don't think she does it. Don't think she does anymore. Ain't the number.
And I'll tell you a funny story. One Christmas, it was Christmas time, and we just had chicken and dumplings. Judy heard me tell that story, didn't you? I went to the chicken house and got this old hen and put her up on my arm. Was coming to the chicken house out by the barn. Put her up on my arm, come to the house, I'm going to chop her head off and have her for dinner. She got out there with the crib, she started going, oh, 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 singing the old chicken song.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear a chicken sing? They will.
Yeah.
And Misty Lynn, she looked up at me and she said, Aunt Pauline, she's singing happy birthday to you. I turned around and took her back to the chicken house, and that was it. So in my book that I give to Amy, I wrote about the chicken saying, walk, 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 and she said, Craig and the girls like that best about the chicken going walk, walk, walk. I said, when life gets tough, don't give up, just start singing walk, 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 walk. Oh shoot, I'm dumb.
No, that's awesome. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. We had a bunch of chickens, and we were trying to. I forget. Darren came and finally got them, but a bunch of them got attacked by a bunch of dogs, and one was still left alive, but it was real weak. And wait, you needed to finish the job because it's just in pain. But you went in and it goes, and I'm like, I can't do it. I think Josh had to come in finally and take care of it, but.
Everything I looked at is the Benningtons. I copied these here down out there with my.
So what were your grandparents like? Because that's something I definitely won't know.
Judy don't remember Grandpa and Grandma, do you?
I knew Grandpa and Grandma's stars, but I don't remember Dad's.
Oh no, we didn't know nothing about Daddy.
Well, didn't Dad's dad stay with him?
Huh?
Didn't Dad's
Oh,
dad
Grandpa,
stay with him?
I forgot about that. Grandpa Robinson, he stayed with us. He was there when Mom and Dad got married, and he lived there with Dad and Mom till he died. Till I was probably about 14 years old.
Oh wow. So you knew him really well.
Hmm?
I said, so you knew him really well.
Yes, I knew him real well.
Yeah, but his
Grandpa was he was the cleanest man that I ever seen on this earth. He was clean, he was good, and he'd take a piece of wood and he could make anything he wanted to. Debbie has down there, she has the rolling pin Grandpa made. You just cut it out of a piece of wood and fix it, made it. But the last 2 years before he died, he picked on me till I couldn't stand him. Oh, and anything I went to do, Grandpa wants that. That's Grandpa. I sat down in his old rocker. Grandpa wants his rocker. Sat down in his day bed. Grandpa wants his day bed. He'd never bothered. He never said anything else to the other kids. It was always me he'd picking on. And I told Mom, I said, I'm not going to his funeral. She said, oh yes you are. I said, no, I'm not. They made me go, and I cried harder than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Now we didn't know Grandma, Dad's mom.
Huh?
I said we didn't know Dad's mom, did we? She
No.
died of childbirth. Happened.
She died when. That's what I was looking for. Where,
The big red measles.
Did you see them pictures of that?
I didn't see any pictures.
You have a picture of Daddy. Where's my picture of Daddy?
She had big red measles, and the baby and her both died.
Big red. Oh, measles.
Look, I've always kept that.
That's cute.
So we didn't know her at all. He had 2 sisters. We didn't know much about them either.
Did they die early, or
They just
didn't come around
moved
much?
away, and somebody else took them and raised him. His dad raised him, but somebody else took
Took the
and
girls.
raised them. They was never around very much.
His aunts were supposed to be the one to raise him. And Judy can't remember that either. When Daddy's sister Goldie come here,
You know Earl Mosley's? Yeah.
Do you remember that?
So who was the one that, who were the grandparents that lived next to you guys? Down in the house where
That was Hamer's mom and dad.
Hamer's mom and dad. Okay. I still remember stories about her coming out and almost beating Hamer to death with a stick or something. I can't remember. I've heard stories, but Mom said she was probably the toughest woman she ever knew.
Yeah, she wanted something done, she'd holler, Debbie! Come out on the back porch, holler, Debbie! She always hollered and picked on Debbie. She wanted a load of wood out of the wood house or something. She'd come out and holler for Debbie. And Pappy used to give David Paul chewing to buy her.
Oh God.
Oh, make me so mad.
So what was it like raising all of them?
No, they was all right.
Mostly.
But I reckon they had their squabbles like other kids do, but nothing drastic. I used to Pap take me to town and get groceries. Hamer's dad, when Hamer was working, he'd take me to town and get groceries, and I'd leave the kids there with Hamer's mom.
Yeah.
They say they'd probably get after him with a belt and stuff. I heard them tell that. But
Mom said one time David, I guess, scared her with a snake and had a snake and held it in her face and. Phew.
yeah, he was ornery.
Well, yeah, one boy and what, 5 sisters, 4 sisters.
4 girls.
Shoo.
You right in the middle.
This one here is about the birth of
1870. Oh wow.
William Dennis Robinson. That was Grandpa Robinson.
October
And
10th, 1870.
That was Daddy's and Mom and Dad. And then Noe Mac, that was Mommy's mom and dad. And these down here was Mommy's brothers and sisters. Did you know them, Judy?
No.
This is all
Otis and Cotton and Harold, only 3 of them. I know Mac.
1870, 1869, all the way up to 1911.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Uncle Otis, Uncle Mac, and Uncle Harold, Uncle Cotton.
This is Aunt Bessie and Aunt Odyssey and
Oh.
Uncle Otis and
We had a murderer in the family too. You know that?
What? A murderer?
Mom's brother was supposed to kill the man, throw him over the Brush Creek Bridge.
John Everett.
Did they catch him?
Yeah. Well, they put him in prison for it. Dad always said that he wasn't the one done it. He said Grandpa Spars and some other man killed him, and he got the blame for it.
Why did they kill him?
Uncle
Do you
John's
know?
name
Did
was
they
John
ever-
Everett,
I don't know.
Judy.
Huh?
Uncle John's name was John Everett.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
that
then
was
he
that
Everett.
the guy who was supposed to have killed John Everett?
Yeah.
John Everett. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, he was supposed to kill him.
Was he
I don't know who the
young?
man was. I don't know.
Did
I did hear
you
Dad
have the
talk
names
about
of all of Grandma's kids?
No. Harold Edward, Othel Lennis, Noe Mac, Lodi Merle, John Everett, Orphe L. William O's, I say Laura Nichols. Now that was Carl Nichols and his mom, wasn't it? Carl.
And Icy was married to Nichols. Charles
Yeah,
Nichols.
I said Laura. That's where you got your name?
Ethel Nichols was her boy.
That's what I said. Estel Nichols was Carl Nichols and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bessie Mae Hazlett. I remember our stars. No, I didn't know none of them either.
So what kind of, I guess, because of course Christmas is always important, but what was Easter
I was going
like?
on the for
Well, that was the
Christmas.
most important Christmas right there. But what? So Christmas. What was the average? What did you just have a family? Everyone get together, have dinner.
We fixed up what we had.
What
Me and Mommy would spend hour after hour after hour fixing up. You remember cakes, and she'd take them, put them in the bottom of that cupboard, and we'd decorate them up with them little red cinnamon candies. Baked cakes and pies, and didn't go to the store and buy anything. You baked it.
Now, did you make it completely from scratch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. Phew. That's good stuff.
Yeah, Mom baked things from scratch.
Now, what'd you do for? So, Christmas and Easter, I guess, would have been big. But what else did you guys say? What would you do for like the 4th of July, or
Nothing.
nothing?
Just like
Just it's another day and that's it. we didn't
we
celebrate.
didn't celebrate stuff like that back then.
What did you do for your birthday? Well, your birthday is different.
For Christmas and Thanksgiving, we fixed up the best that we could fix up, and that was it.
And then did you celebrate?
We never had a turkey. I never had a turkey till after I was married.
What would you have?
Whatever we got.
Chicken and rabbit, where we had.
Sometimes rabbit, sometimes squirrel.
Squirrel.
Squirrel, rabbit, chicken,
Squirrel and rabbit and chicken.
whatever you could afford.
Whatever.
Maybe a piece of ham. If we was lucky, get some ham.
When you had 11 kids, you didn't have much to
That's true.
pick from.
So how, with 11 kids, how big was? You shared beds? I guess.
Yeah, boys sleep, girls sleep together.
Poor little Carolyn.
About 3 in a bed.
Poor little Carolyn, when when Carl was born, she had quit sleeping with Mama and started sleeping with me. She said, "Penny, I don't got no mommy anymore. My mommy got her a new baby." She'd hold on to my arm just tight as a jug. Pee all over me.
Oh God.
She had bad kidneys. And right before I got married, she held on to my arm like this, and I woke up that night and old hot pee would run right down my back. And I wonder if that's what she said when I got married. I don't have no sister anymore. That's not my sister talking, is it? Hello? Yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah. You doing all right? You reckon? That's with me, I reckon. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know.
Our electric was off last night.
Mom said hers was too, or not. Jelena said hers was too.
The whole town, when we come through town from
That's with me, Charles.
Clara and Cold Garden.
I wonder what happened.
Didn't come on until, well, we went ahead and went to bed about 10:30.
Uh-huh.
And a little after 11, I was to come back on. The electric turned the light on. I told him, I said, electric's on now, so he got to the
I've been,
breathing treatment.
Charles,
then.
I've been sleeping pretty good. Alrighty. Bye. I'm home all weekend, Charles. I'm home Saturday and Sunday all by myself. So you can call anytime. Alrighty. Take care. Bye. This kind of weather just made him hurt all over.
Yeah.
I think it does everybody.
Yeah, especially if you got a little bit Arthur.
When they say, Pauline, I don't want you going outside. Pauline, don't do this. Pauline, don't do that.
Kiss my big black foot.
Huh?
I said, kiss my big black foot.
Well, I said if they'd ever get that stupid air conditioner, it's still in the window yet, Judy. If they get the air conditioner out there, that'd take care of some of the...
Draft. I wonder if I can pull it out.
Charles said, I just want to know how you would get back to your company. Get back and talk to them. He said, what I've got hurts in the foot, and what I didn't have, what I do have hurts all over or something. I don't know how it was. I thought, yep, that's the way I feel. He said, I don't like this kind of weather.
Makes you just feel cold and achy.
You're gonna laugh where I hurt in the worst. Well, I went in Dale's bedroom. It's never been cleaned out yet. Went in Dale's bedroom to get them glasses to put in the door, and I got them, put them behind the stove, but I hurt my hip doing it. My rear end has been hurting me ever since. Sitting down. A big dummy, I was standing in front of the heater thing in the kitchen yesterday, and boy, that heat was hot on my back. She got that tube of stuff she had and put it on my back. It's like sticking ice cubes on there.
It's like icy hot or something like that.
No, it's some kind of wax stuff they use over the therapy, and she got one of them. Yeah. I just don't like pain. I don't. But nothing I can do about it. Just grin and bear it.
So I know you didn't learn how to drive till later, right?
49 years old when I learned to drive.
Did you learn how to drive? Did you ever? Nope, never learned.
I never did drive. I drove the Jeep, drove the tractor, but not the car. I drove the car home from Peebles one time. No, I drove the Jeep home from Peebles one time. Started up, I had a load of feed. That's down to White Oak. Started up the bank to go to the barn. It died. The other said, "Start it, dummy." I got out and went to the house. So I never did learn to drive down there. But I drove from church one night. I drove the car we had, and I turned in too quick out Church Lane. Bump, hit the bank. That was it. So I didn't drive no more, except over in the field. I'd take the Jeep and go over in the field and had a trailer and.
Dad told me I'd never learn to drive, and that's what made me more determined I was going to. You'll never learn. You'll never learn. I did. But I don't drive anymore, though. I drove around now.
Judy,
Since I got Brother Buick.
They got after me one time. Pap, he was asleep. He was here. He was asleep. And while Pap was asleep, I went out and got the Jeep out of the barn and trailer. Backed it out down the road, over in the field and went and loaded up a load of tobacco, brought it back in and had it in the barn. You talk about somebody getting dickens. I did.
So he wasn't happy that you did it?
He didn't believe it, I did. Dale didn't believe I did do it, but Pappy was mad. You should have waked me up. I wouldn't have helped you. But I loaded it on the way I wanted to loaded it, and when I thought I had enough on there for Dale to hang that evening, I come to the house with it. And have to go up that way and then come back and then cross the road and come back in here and turn. I did it. I don't want to try it anymore. Same with the lawnmower. Scotty said, coming around the corner, said, "Old woman, 83 years old, coming up through there with the lawnmower." And the old man took the lawnmower and went up with one lick up through the back there. He tore my lawnmower up. He did.
He fixed it?
The piece come off of the side of it, and he run over it, tore the blade up and everything. He should have let the 83-year-old woman go.
Yeah. You might have still had a lawnmower.
I like to mow with the lawnmower, with the riding lawnmower.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Well, I mowed a lot with the other mower too, but when he got it was for a good while he wouldn't let me mow with the riding lawnmower, and he said I could. So the level places he let me mow, and the steep places he'd do it. Same way the mowing with the tractor, let me have the fields that was level. I could mow them, and then he would mow the ones that had the banks.
Steep places, yeah. Yeah, I always thought, is that field? I remember going to church when I was a kid and thinking that was the prettiest field.
Mm-hmm.
That where you got there's like a hill,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of slopes down real gently, and it was always real pretty. I always thought that was the prettiest field.
I like the knoll up there. That's what I like.
See, I don't think I've ever seen up there.
Well, you had to. If you come down the hill, you seen it.
Is it on the right or the left?
On the right, coming down.
Oh yeah, it's the same one. I think it's the same one. Cause you got like a little hill and it.
Yeah, slopey. Yeah.
Oh, it's the prettiest thing.
That crazy Kate used to go up there top of the hill, get on her bike, just come a flying down through there. Judy, that crazy kid, she didn't realize she had to ride the bike back up, but she did. First thing you know, you'd see her going back up the road, and after a while, here she come back down with that bike. So they asked at her funeral, "What do you remember most about Kate?" I said, "I remember most about Kate riding her bike down through there flying."
Sure.
But Judy, not changing the subject dear, but didn't they have Margaret King? Didn't they have her done up good?
Mm-hmm.
She really looked nice, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Better than I ever did see Margaret, I think.
How old was she?
80.
I didn't know she was so
81.
old.
I don't know how old she was.
81, right. I think radio's at 81.
I said I can't see to read anything anymore, and I guess, and I just don't bother. I looked at that thing on the back, and I thought. Then Judy told me Carolyn was like that too, and I've never read the back of Carolyn's. I've never seen the back of it.
All the names and everything.
I'm sitting here like this, and I'm telling you the truth, my rear end aching like a toothache. Pardon the expression, but
It's okay. Do you want a pillow or something?
that's what I'm doing. I'm going to take one. That's all I take of them. The same as Tylenol.
Don't do me a bit of good.
It didn't do Mom any good either. Well, if I take it, it helps a lot.
Just
but
gonna take an
Mom's
aspirin.
okay. Yeah. Mom, it doesn't do
lived
anything.
on Tylenol.
Mom.
She's gonna. I take a bunch every morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
fixed out. And what do you think about my oilcloth, my tablecloth? Santa Claus.
I like it. A little early.
A little early. You know how long it's been on there?
Still a
Since
little
last
late.
year. This time last year. What time was it, Judy? I had to go to the over and stay.
Oh yeah.
I said I'm going to start Christmas early this year. So I put this dumb thing on, just acting stupid. Put that on there. Put red candles in the window, and I have my red candles and a little basket of Christmas poinsettias sitting in the window. I started Christmas early, all right. I ended up, instead of having Christmas at Judy's like I usually had Christmas over to Manor. That's when I felt busted my head wide open. Them dumb things put me on Facebook that way. Looked like somebody murdered me, didn't it, Judy?
Yeah, it did a little.
At 14 up here, how many? 7 stitches and 11 cleats.
Good Lord.
Right there. It's a wonder I got any brains at all. But everybody says, "Oh, Pauline, for an old woman, 93 years old, 90 years old, you sure do have a good mind."
That's the best thing you can have.
Mhm.
So that's the best thing you can have.
Sound mind.
Hmm?
That's a sound mind.
I don't like getting old, but I told Judy, I said I was so mean that the Lord didn't even want me. He's making me wait and wait and wait. And I said, mean he didn't want me.
I hope I age the same though. I hope
Either that or he's got something good in store for me. I don't know which it is.
I hope it's something good. That's what I'm hoping
But just to step inside heaven, that's all I ask. Turn me loose and let me go. I told Karen Bowman, I said, I'm going to climb the highest mountain I can find and holler, I made it, I made it. And then I told someone else, I was going to find me a big tree beside the river of life, sit down with my back against the tree, and go to sleep. Aunt Penny, you don't go to sleep in heaven. I said, you would if you wanted to. That's when I was losing so much sleep.
that'd be nice.
But thank goodness, Judy, I've been doing not too bad sleeping.
I don't. I sleep sometimes maybe 3 hours a night.
I go to sleep about 9. Well, this morning I woke up. Here I was again. 5 o'clock. I said, I'm not done. I'm not getting up. So I laid there. It was 8 o'clock when I had my breakfast. Right now I'm gonna use.
Can I get you something?
The only thing I do when I go in there and do that dumb therapy, just have to get up. Yeah.
That's what you make you do.
Oh, is that what they make you do?
That's what they make you
Just
do 5
stand up?
times. And that hurts. And the other day they just made me walk, and then little blanket I wrote it. He said, Pauline, I want you to write in 10 minutes. And them dumb things can tell which leg, Judy, you're working the most.
Mm-hmm.
And my left leg was doing more than my right one. I didn't know it, that machine was telling them that. Even Dawn knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Stand there looking. She takes me in there, Judy, and then while I'm there, she goes and if she has to do her shopping, she does it then. If she has to do mine, that's when she does mine. She'll have to do mine this time when she goes in.
You go every Tuesday now.
Hmm?
You go every Tuesday now.
Mm-hmm. No, she goes over to Walmart and does it. Gets
I
the
said you go every Tuesday though for therapy. You go every Tuesday for therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every Tuesday, 10 o'clock. When they tell me to write that big thing, I tell them, nope, I can't, I won't do it, because I know what it did, it hurts. But that stupid old woman get in there, just round and around and around and around and around. She goes, hey, I know you, is your name Bennington? Around and around. Judy, she knows everybody. That's one, I said, when they get in this thing, she'll praise the Lord, and
Mm-hmm.
if we never play games, she does cussing then.
Yeah. I'm on the
I'm kind of missing Steffi. I hope she gets home today. She always runs in and tells me the news and everything. But she probably won't get to be. Well, somebody will come down and take care of her scare, but Scott's probably taking Mama out today for her birthday. I think she's 42 years old.
Who's Sabrina?
Huh?
Sabrina?
Yeah.
I thought she's older than that.
You thought she's older than that? She's mad at Scotty because he told her she's 42.
She'd really get mad at me then, would she?
Her and Dawn's about the same age. She's a little bit older than Dawn is. She come in there and sit down beside me the other night. Pauline, I'm gonna cry. You know how the Kentuckian talk, cry. I'm gonna cry. Said, this is the first time since my baby's been born that I've not got to be with her on her birthday. She said there, tears started going to her face. Well, do you want to know anything else, baby?
I mean, anything you want to tell me, I'm happy to listen. That's it pretty much. Anything you want to say, I'm here to listen. I don't know, any advice that you might want to give people?
Any advice?
What's the most important thing in life that you think?
The most important thing in my life, I think would be in anybody's life, would be ready to get ready to go where the Lord wants them to be. Right, Judy? I think Grandma will agree with me on that. Grandma might not agree with me on a lot of things, but we do on that. Some things we don't agree on.
Like what?
Yeah. We've never gone in any fusses, have we, Judy?
Nothing.
That I know of. Not since I've been married, anyhow.
What do you think is good advice for a long marriage? Because now you see so many people that get divorced and everything.
For a long marriage.
You know what I told him?
What?
I said, give a little and take a lot. Said, Pauline, how did you stay married that long? I said, give a little and take a lot.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's a give and take.
Yeah.
But
Life is not all, marriage is not all peaches and cream. Sometimes just a little mustard mixed in there.
That's why it's simple daring. Because everybody thinks he's an idiot because he's all the time acting just crazy and everything. I said, anything Hammer wants done, all he's got to do is follow Darren. Darren's right there helping. But I said, he's just a big old kid. He needs to grow up.
Who?
Darren.
Yeah.
He thinks everything ought to be just fun and games.
sometimes you gotta work.
Yeah.
Judy, you ought to see him loading that stove in
I
there.
know it. That's what I said. Hammer wants anything done. All you got to do is holler at Darren. He's right there helping. So. Reeve gets mad enough at him sometimes to kill him.
What's Darren's last name?
Bernard.
Bernard.
I told you I'm up all hours of the night.
Yeah.
Can't sleep it. One morning, about 20 minutes after 3, you know, they had games down there on Friday night and Saturday night, about 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. 3:30 in the morning, I was laying on the couch, and kaboom! I said, what in the world was that? I got up, looked out the front room window, looked out toward Reeve and Darren. City lights and big bright lights just flashing every place. I called down and I asked Reeve, I said, Reeve, what in the world is going on down there? She said, Darren had to put that little old dog down. He was having some kind of fits to take it. He shot it. I don't know what they was flashing that light around for. Reva told Debbie, said, I told Mom I'm going to shoot him. She said, I reckon Mom must have thought I shot Darren. Yeah, I said, Mom must have thought Darren. She called down and wanted to know what was going on.
That's funny.
No, I said you can't keep him liking a big old cook, can you?
That's what I said. Anything we want done, he's right there to help. But sometimes I get aggravated at him, know the way he thinks. But
Yeah.
That's the way that girl works for me. You want something that, well, I'll tell you that. Here my mind goes. The fan in there in the kitchen.
yeah.
He brought that in here, Judy. It was Steffi's Steers fan that she had out there in the shed. And you talk about something being dirty. He hung it up and he said, she can take it down and clean it. she took it down and cleaned it, and I looked at her and I said, "Do you think they'd have anything like that in their house?" She got done with it. It was clean.
Mm-hmm.
She was rare about it. But I think he had to turn it on. It was putting more heat through here, and she done something to it. Just I never seen one swing back and forth like a clock.
Mm.
Talk about clocks, Judy. My favorite clock. The dumb thing quit. Dale never did like it, and I always did. This one here. And it is still ticking.
Wait, but it's not working?
No. Can you hear it tick?
Yeah, it's ticking.
But see,
But it's not moving.
the hand things are something's wrong with it.
Something's a little loose or something.
But I loved it. I had it hanging in the bathroom. Well, when I bought it, I put it in the living room. I bought it from old man frames when they had used to have the store where
Yeah.
what the place is there now, rent to own. There was a pool room and then old man framed the store.
Yeah. Crawford frames.
And I bought this. I liked it the way it was designed in there. And Dale, he never did like it. But the last time anything happened to it, the hands quit working. But it's still ticking. Tick, tick, tick.
I'm gonna rent the owners where the pool room used to be.
I'm gonna have to get
Ten
some
piece
stage
stores
code
used to be.
lines and put it in the trash.
So what was West Union like? Because I mean they had the social
Oh,
lights
you know what
club.
our thing was on Saturday night in West Union?
What?
Everybody got out there and walked around the square.
Yeah.
That's where you met people. That's what we done.
This is like the fair now. If you go to the fair, you walk
Yeah.
round and round and round. Do they still have that socialites club or whatever it was over on the side where that it's all fallen down now, but looks so pretty on the inside? There's that because there's a square, and then you've got if you're going up toward West Union or up toward Walmart. There's a square. There's like a what is it? It used to be the building alone or something.
Yeah, I know what you
And then they got that, and then they got
They got
that.
a bank in the building alone now.
Yeah, it's a bank of some sort. I
Ain't that
saw that.
something?
I saw
That's
that.
all we needed, another bank, West Union.
And then they've got that real big pretty building. But I just it was pretty. I wish they'd let them
What
sell
was
it.
the
And
old
fix it.
Wayside Inn?
No, it's across the
Really?
street from the Wayside Inn. That building used to have big glass windows and stuff, but they
Yeah.
boarded them up.
Yeah, I don't remember what that was.
Someone told me, so I looked it up, and it's on the National Historic Register of Historic Places. It was a millery. I guess a woman in the 1850s. I forget her name, but she put in a millery, and she would sell like hat pins and bows and things, and then they turned it into a little socialites club. But then I didn't know when it closed down or anything. But I saw pictures of the inside. Like someone went in to do it. The most beautiful woodwork you ever saw, but it's just falling to pieces.
Yep.
What kind of restaurants did they have? Or did they have... Because Wayside Inn's there, of course.
Yeah, the Wayside Inn. There used to be one
Oh, here, I get it. I'll grab it.
down the street toward 247. I can't remember what the name of the restaurant was. That's where everybody hang out on Saturday night to eat. Pool room is where the Sprint owns that now.
Now, is that...
Don't you remember the 125 bar grill?
Yeah, 125 grill. Yeah,
That's where we used to
that was
hang
on,
out at. You
that
know
was on
what?
the corner, and ain't nothing there now.
Oh, yeah, it fell down, didn't it? I remember that, yeah.
We used to go in there, and I think it was on certain days. Maybe it was on Tuesdays. Go in there, and you get mashed potatoes, meatloaf, and gravy for 50 cents. And they had it, divided. Did you ever get it, Judy?
Mm-mm.
They had it divided off like big dinners down to
Yeah.
Frisch's, but they had it. had it divided off and had your sandwich here, and in the middle was mashed potato and gravy. One night they went up in towards Wilmington and up in there and come back, and someplace we stopped at Bob Evans's, and they were just getting ready to close that night. I ordered the cheapest thing that I could find, and that's what it was. And I think it cost $3 and something. And she come over and when we started to leave, she looked at me and laughed and said, "That was bigger than you thought it was, wasn't it?" That waitress did. She real nice to her. She said, "That was bigger than what you thought it was, wasn't it?" And that's what it was. It had 2 big pieces of meatloaf on top of it, and I made Scotty take one of them. But at the same thing, we used to get in there for 50 cents.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go in there all the time, get that.
And I guess it was Blake's Pharmacy. They've always had that little malt shop in the back. We used to go there when I worked at the bank. We would go over there and get milkshakes for everybody, and it's still only, $1 or something.
Yeah.
It's still cheap.
I like to go to Giovanni's if they're going to get pizza.
That's good. This is the best pizza.
Uh-huh. And then for French fries, I like to go to Frisch's. We usually end up at Frisch's.
So Mom and Dad
I
are.
don't think he ever knows there's any place to eat in West June besides Mikey's.
Hmm?
I said, I don't think he ever knows any place to eat in West June besides Mikey's. I guess it's part of them in there.
Judy, you're going to laugh. I have not ate at Mikey's since Roy Dill was in the hospital, and I think Charles and Carolyn brought me across there, and you and Hamer ate the same table we did. And I think it's the last time I've been to Mikey's.
I don't think I've been to Mikey's since.
No, I went to Mikey's one time when I was over at your place, didn't I? When not there when we ate.
I've been there since I was in junior high maybe, and was with everyone.
That's where we go about every Sunday for dinner. Sometimes we go down to Long John Silver.
But Charles Cavalier was always good about getting you something. He'd take me over there to get me something to eat. Dale was in the hospital. And down the manor, he'd always bring you cookies or candy, or he'd bring you something. Sometimes he'd hide it under my pillow. I didn't know it was there till I laid down and I heard my pillow rattle. I felt Charles Cavalier had been here. He felt like every time he had to bring me something every time he come see me. And he come see me a lot. And I told him one day, I said, "Charles," I said, "you want to come and talk to me? All right." But I said, "You don't have to bring me something all the time." So a couple times he come in, "Penny, I'm just downloaded. I got to talk to somebody." But usually, always he'll bring you candy or cookies or donuts or something. You never been in the hospital when he comes to you, have the Judy.
Last time I was in the hospital when I had my gallbladder taken out.
I said a lot of people don't like Charles, but in his own way, Charles is all right, I reckon. Now he calls Carolyn Mama.
Mm-hmm.
I've been over to visit Mama's grave today, or went over and cleaned the flowers off of Mama's grave. Somebody said he took all the flowers and took all the flowers into the manor, but he took a pot of flowers into the manor, wasn't it? Of course, right before Margaret was buried, well, he called me and told me, "I'll clean Mama's grave off today." And then he told me dig the graves. Keith had took dirt off of Margaret's grave where they were digging the good dirt and put on Carolyn's grave and leveled it down. But what I was looking at, I thought one of them Bibles had that picture of Daddy and his 2 sisters in it.
That was a good timing.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it there. I was kind of worried about it. I thought it was lost.
What's this?
See them britches he got on? See these britches?
Different times.
That's Allie. This is Everett.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know, that's
I wonder what year that was.
But
So
I
that
had-
was your dad
Mhm.
and his two sisters, but you didn't know his sisters.
I know of them, but I didn't know them well. I said, I think they come down one time where old Brown's place, wasn't
Well, over in, that's where you was ever born, over in the Coon Holler.
it? Mm-hmm.
Aunt Bessie come there one time. Grandpa was out to the barn, and we went out and told him, Aunt Bessie wanted to see him. What do I want to see her for? That was Mommy's sister he's talking about. What do I want to see her for? I said, she said she wants to see you. It's your Bessie. Oh, shut up. He went out, talked to her a little bit, and she left, and that's the last time we were there. She married a Dunn, I think it was. No, a Duncan. And Goldie, she come up behind Daddy and said, "Where's Dad at?" Dad never even turned around. He just looked and said, "You're a bit late. You're a little bit late for that, ain't you?" If you want to see my old ones, I think they might be some of Grandma's in it.
Yeah.
My grandma. Now I was Grandma's girl. I stayed with Grandma a lot. Helped take her out dirty run Grandpa.
Do you want me to help you?
Oh shoot, amen. You tell Hamer I'm mad at him.
Why?
Had to move my thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know how I missed that dumb thing being there, Carolyn. Now here I go on you, Carolyn, again. Move your chair over here. City Queen.
You do. You look like a movie star.
Gosh.
Let me see if I can.
Judy, you're going down laughing. I should give that to keep that and give it to Sherry. That's her grandpa and grandma. That's McKinley and Clara.
Oh, is it?
You remember them?
Yeah.
Honey, you see any pictures you want to take a picture of, you take a picture of it.
I'll take it.
There's that you have it's a grandma, don't you?
Yeah, I'm like, give me one of them, I think.
I still don't see that picture, Dale.
This is my grandma,
That's your grandma and grandpa.
and my mom.
Where do all these come from? There.
Just old kept back.
Pauline Laura Robinson, my birth certificate.
So who's the little girl?
Mom.
Oh, that's your that's your grandmother.
Mhm.
That's your mom.
Yeah.
Here's her mommy too.
Oh, I've seen this picture.
I'll make sure I'm
Because you guys look alike. A lot
Yes.
alike.
Now, who's that?
Grandpa's tenant.
Spires.
Grandpa and grandma and Icy, I think they said it was.
Yeah, that's okay.
Here's the one I like, Judy. Did you have one like that?
Oh,
I've seen
wow.
one like that, but I don't think I got one like that.
That's Daddy.
1918. That is amazing.
I've seen this before. How old was Dad there?
Hmm?
How old was Dad there?
This one here was one. I was over here by the old Sprout Bridge at a yard sale down the road from it. Some lady walked up to me and said, "Do you know Chester Robinson?" And I said, "Yep." That's my dad. she said, give me your name and address and I'll send you a picture of your dad. And Dale said, yeah, like Dickens you will, said, that'll be the last you hear of it. So she sent it to me. That was Daddy when he was 16 years old, I think it was. I think it said 16. Age 16, yeah.
Chester H. Robinson, age 16, taken in 1918, born April 1st, 1902. And it's a postcard. That's amazing.
And I like that picture.
It's a really nice picture.
It kind of looks like the boys a little bit, don't it, Judy? Looks like my brothers. A whole lot. This year's a picture of Dale's little brother and sister. A long, long time ago.
Who is it?
Dale's little brothers and sisters, Rudolph and Gracie.
Goodness. Oh, they're cute. Kids don't change.
I'll tell you a good one about Ray Ray.
Yeah.
Debbie gonna put her on a school bus. She grabbed Debbie around the leg. She said, "Mama, I'm gonna
That's
miss
Dale's
you."
mother and
Had big tears in her eyes.
some of the kids.
Debbie said, I put her on the bus and said, I wonder if that was a little girl and she wouldn't do it. So I put her on the seat for herself and I told her, now you sit there and you look out the window and Mama will be here when you get back. Because she's alright at school until she sees
Lord.
Amber Lee at noon and then she wants to play with Amber Lee.
It's Dell's mom.
Who was that, Judy?
Hmm?
Dale's mom.
Yeah.
Dale's mom, and you're gonna die laughing. Larry's that boy standing there.
It is.
Yeah, Larry and Kenny is the baby.
Army of the United States. That's Bill Beans. I don't know. He gave that to me and told me, he said, I want you to keep that, Pauline. Said, so you have something to write about me. But I didn't do his obituary, but his discharge is still here. This year, I think this year was my birth certificate. Yep, I see Goldie's Fars and Dad's name or someplace.
Yeah, Chester Robinson.
Mm-hmm. That is my new birth certificate. On the old one, you know what it said?
What?
Robinson baby girl.
I think I was just McCain baby, because they hadn't named me yet.
And you're gonna die laughing. You know what this was?
What?
Grade card.
Huh?
Grade card envelope.
Roy Dillon's grade card thing.
I've got some hangers of grade cards.
I wrote on important pictures. Do not destroy.
That's great.
But I didn't save his paper. It had too many B's and C's on it.
Oh, yeah, let me get.
I got it.
Oh.
I've got some hangers of grade card someplace.
How
Ain't
was
got none of
he?
mine.
Hmm?
I ain't got none of mine, but I got some hangers grade cards.
I think I purposefully got rid of mine. No one needs to see those.
I think Grandpa's father looks like Johnny. And Judy, I still wonder if that is Grandma or Goldie Branham. Don't look like us kid, does it? She don't. Not unless she looks like Uncle Mac. But Aunt Icy was a big lady.
Oh, who's this?
That's who I was named after, Aunt Icy. That there's... There it went down again. That's Sherry's grandpa and grandma, Sherry Bennington. Be Dale's uncle, but
McKinley.
I don't know why. I'll question that. Why, of all the things that Dale's mommy had put away, this was one of them. But I'll have to give that to Sherry some of these days. Pauline.
Do you mean to put that back?
Put that back in the drawer.
In that drawer.
That's where all my pictures are at. He still don't know what he wants comfort. Oh shoot. Bad as comes to cotton spars, ain't it, Judy?
What?
My Uncle Cotton, man alive, he's a loudmouth. What they do is right down the line. Huh?
Always blowing.
Well, Uncle Harold was worse than him.
Yeah.
I remember the night they was all at the house when Grandma died, and I went ahead upstairs and went to bed. Well, some of the boys had, instead of laying like this, here they was, crossways bed that way, Judy. And there's no bed there. It had a hole in the middle of it. I laid down on that side. After a while, Daddy come up. He said, "Phew, my Lord." Said, "Can I sleep here with you, Payne?" Said, "I'll lay over on this side." Said, "Can I sleep here with you?" Said, "I never heard no such blowing in all my life." It was Uncle Harold and Uncle Otis and Uncle Mac down there, just all that living room just going boom, 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 boom.
That's the way it is at Mikey's on Sunday when.
Huh?
I said that's the way it is up there at Mikey's on Sunday when Bob McIntosh is in there. You never heard no such talking and hollering and carrying on. They just laughing, hollering, going like a. I told him, I said, for God's sake, all of them trying to talk at the same time.
Ones together in there for dinner?
Yeah.
The last time I was over there was when I was there with you and Hamer that Sunday.
You can't get in Preachers anymore on Sunday.
Mm-mm. It's packed.
It's packed.
It's bad enough on Tuesday when we get in there.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Sundays, the busiest days.
So at one time I said, "Just give me an order of French fry." And the first time they just that piled up, and next time I didn't get very many French fries, and she got a big boy and French fries, and they give her about twice as much French fries as they did me. And she don't drink coffee, so I got me a cup of coffee. Their coffee's pretty good. I don't know how much it costs, but it's pretty good. And last time we ate, she's driving around. We're driving around. Pauline said, "Where do you want to eat at?" And I said, "Let's go today and go to McDonald's." I told her to get a chicken sandwich, and she got me a grilled chicken sandwich. She got her a chicken sandwich, but she got me I said, "Why was my sandwich so much bigger than yours?" She said, "You said you wanted a grilled." I said, "No." I said, "Get me a chicken sandwich." And she got me a grilled one. It was good. And Judy, I never seen such a change in the place. I've never been in there since they remodeled it.
I ain't either.
It don't even look like the
I've
same place.
eaten there about 3 times all I've ever eaten there.
It don't even look like the same place.
Mm-hmm.
The tables that used to be in there are not in there, where they used to be in the corner and stuff. They're not in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's all big, pretty white, tan looking stuff.
Never been in
Since
there.
they redo them.
But I said when you get out there about, it's not quite 11, between 10:30 and 11 o'clock. You just know that? I told her I wasn't hungry. Oh, Pauline said, you got to eat something. But see, I had this on here, and I thought Christmas was going to come early. So I spent Christmas in the manor. Didn't get home till May, and I thought this would be gone, but everybody laughs. They like Santa Claus. Judy, it's lasted, that thing has. It'll slide and you can pull it back and whatever. Them other
Buy
things.
tablecloths anymore. You can't keep them on the table.
Them other things, you touch them, Judy, they
Yeah.
fall apart. But
Run all over the table with you.
this in here don't.
It's sturdy.
You got heavy backing on the other. Just little thin things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I have gobs and 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 more gobs of pictures.
I'll have to come back and we'll have to go through them. That'd be awesome.
Some of them you wouldn't even know, though. I mean,
No, I'm sure I wouldn't. I wouldn't know half of them anyway. I have to have help.
but I have a couple pictures someplace that she asked me if I had a picture of Albie. I picture of Albie in his army uniform. That one, he looks like he's bigger than I don't know what in it. But the other one, it was pretty good. And then Judy, someplace, there's a picture of him and Opal standing together up in your yard at Dad's. When you burn that thing up, I told him about when you burn that thing up, but I never did.
So did they have, I mean, because you don't see a bunch of pictures, did they have, I mean, were cameras pretty expensive or were they not so expensive?
I've got some that I started back in my, you'd die laughing looking at them, what's left of them. Back in 1948, I started. Me and Dell at old swimming hole, and Susie was at the swimming hole with us, and that's after we moved up here, though. She was with us all the time, wasn't she, Judy? If she wasn't with us, she's with Charles and Carolyn. She's with Charles and Carolyn the night, and Carolyn said, whenever I have a date with Charles Kaplinger, it's going to come a storm. And it did. Me and Dale was over at the hospital looking out. We was in there with Dale's brother. Tom Bennington, he wanted, back then all he thought about was a fair. Now you couldn't hurry him to go to a fair. And, come on, tightwad, said, I'll pay your way. Dale said, I just don't want to go. I just don't like that fair. I don't want to go. And we stayed there with Lonnie. Janice and Tom went to over the fair. Charles and Carolyn and Susie, they had to wade mud to get out. After Carolyn making a statement, it's going to come a storm whenever I have a date with Charles Kaplinger. They laughed about that, didn't they? They give them something to laugh about down through the years. Susie said, I lost my shoes. Oh, she lost her shoes in the mud. But it absolutely poured that night, and we was there in the hospital, and it just against them windows, and just, it was pouring. I guess they had to close the fair down that night. It had such a storm.
Well, hello, John. It's 20 minutes
we go.
to 3. We better get back over home.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You still don't